Enough. So a few years ago, there was this storm in Phoenix where hail rained down everywhere. And it brought all kinds of this crazy destruction. I mean, roofs on houses and buildings had to be replaced all over the valley. A bunch of cars had all of these dents all over the hood and the top and the trunk, just like little chisels going into all over the place. And all of this damage, broken windows, just other kinds of like trees down and bushes destroyed and plants. Like, hail is destructive. And if you think about it, it's crazy. It's these balls of ice of all kinds of varying sizes coming down and smashing into whatever's on the ground. And that's the seventh plague that God puts upon Egypt. But what we learn from this is that in some way, that's God being merciful. Now, how is suffering merciful? God's point is this: He has the power to just wipe them out. He has the power to put a disease or to do something else that would just eliminate the Egyptians. And then the Israelites could walk free, but that's not what He wants. He wants the Egyptians to recognize that He is powerful. He wants the Egyptians to recognize that He is the one true God. He wants the Egyptians to recognize that their identity in who they worship is false. That He wants people to be His people, like the Israelites, to make a covenant with Him, to recognize that He is the God to be worshiped, and who we worship impacts who we are. What we worship impacts who we are. Our identity is wrapped up in it. And so if we worship wealth or the God of wealth, then that impacts who we are, the decisions we make, how we live our lives. Or if we worship health, or if we worship sex, these things impact the decisions that we make and the people that we become, and ultimately how we view ourselves. But if we worship the one true God, and we believe that we are created in His image, and that He has reconciled us to Himself through the sacrifice and resurrection of His Son, that we ourselves can call Him Father, and He calls us sons and daughters, that is a whole new identity. And what He is after is hearts being transformed by His power, by displaying His power, overcoming the gods that they worship, showing that the priests and the magicians and even Pharaoh himself have no power above the one true God. And that their identity in Egypt in this time is to worship false gods. But He wants them to find a new identity. He wants them to see who He is and to worship Him. But Pharaoh won't. And so the suffering continues. A hard heart draws us to a path of destruction because it draws us away from God. But a new heart, it draws us to the path of life. It draws us to the one true God who has come and created us and shaped us and formed us, and who knows us and loves us and sacrificed Himself for us to be reconciled to Himself, to be united in His family, to find hope and peace and joy for eternity. Our identity should be in the God who made us, not in the gods that we think will satisfy us, because they lead to suffering, but in the only one true God who truly satisfies.